Good morning, y'all. It's Timothy. I drank an entire can of Red Bull and chugged it because I was craving something sweet. Now I have brain inflammation and I don't know when I'll sleep. Ooh, made a bar in under 10 seconds. Here we go. Now, I guess just to start this video off, last time I was here, I talked about this new guy I met. You know how I was crying over that Mitchell, whatever his face, the tall, ugly nigga, the one who was kind of evil and kind of manipulative and a love bombing asshole. That guy, yeah. Well, who gives a fuck about that guy? Like, congratulations. It's March 1st, and this is the first time I've said his name in several days. In maybe like a week, give or take. And you want to know why? Because I met a new guy. For the sake of anonymity, I'm calling him Hay, because his hair is the color of hay, and also because anytime I post on Reddit or a social media platform from a new account, he usually recognizes it's me, and the first thing he says is, "Oh, hey, it's you! How are you doing?" Plus, when he cash apped me, I thought his username said Hey, but it says Pay, but whatever. So that's the nickname he's got. It's the one we will have to deal with, and luckily it's so far from his name that you can't find him online, thank God. To put it simply, Hay is a nice guy. For context, I had been I'd been journaling on Reddit for fucking years from like multiple different accounts. We met because he saw me on a hookup Reddit, and then at first he was like, "Oh, like it seems like how do I put this? Let's just say he started following my account just out of curiosity, just like, oh, maybe this is a potential hot girl to talk to someday." But then eventually he started reading my posts and he read every fucking word and he would go out of his way to read his shit. I mean, read the shit I talked about and be like, "Hey, how are you doing? How's life? How are you holding up? I'm sorry to hear about that happening with you and that one guy you dated or this other guy." And it wasn't just like surface level shit, at least not from my eyes. He seemed to actually give a shit. Like, he was pretty consistent about it. And I thought to myself, okay, whether this guy's just lying in wait so that one day he can pounce on me and have sex with me, well, alright, kudos to him. He's doing a pretty good job at being convincing that he could be an actual friend. But at the same time, he never asked me anything sexual at all. Never made a move. He just was simply being polite. Just like, "I hope you get through this. I hope you don't kill yourself. May you get the strength to leave him. I hope all is going well. What hobbies are you into?" And we just had like pleasant, casual conversation. Somewhere between acquaintances and friends who just didn't know each other's names or faces. And then, like, this happened on multiple different accounts. He would find me. Like, just because it's like, yeah, simply put, I'm a pretty easy person to spot, and depending on, like, the subreddits I post in, what can I say? But then time went on, and eventually he did stop talking to me. I forget why exactly. I don't fully remember why. But he did just vanish, and I remember that hurt. So we didn't talk for like about a year. We didn't talk like for any of 2024, if I recall correctly. Until, well, let's just say I made a new Reddit account and I was trying to get over Mitchell, and I wanted to abandon my last Reddit account because I didn't want to have any associations with what happened to me on Christmas Eve. I didn't want to think about it anymore. I was like, let me have a nice, clean, fresh start. And then I made a post online. I got a response from, Hey, and I recognized his username instantly because he's had the same Reddit account all these fucking years. And he was like, "Hi, I'm a 29-year-old male," even though I'm pretty he's 30. He lied and said he was 21. I mean 29 because he wanted to seem young for me, which is extremely funny. It's like, nigga, man, if I had a nickel for all the times men have, like, because I say that I don't like men who are over the age of 30, so men will be like, "Shit, but I want a chance with her. I'm 29." I'm 28. It's whatever. But either way, he said his stats and stuff and whatnot, and I was like, "Oh shit, hey, you don't recognize it's me. We've talked before." And then he was like, "Holy shit, are you?" And he said my old Reddit username, and I said, "Yeah, it's me. Hey, how are you doing?" "Good, how are you?" And we got to talking and catching up, and it was some pretty good, pleasant conversation. He went through a breakup recently from an on and off relationship. I went through, well, everything I went through that you all know about. And it was pleasant conversation, and I don't exactly remember how it went, but I think, I don't know, I got enough Reddit DMs from people who were attractive but not responsive, from people who were responsive but ugly, and from a lot of fucking stupid idiots who can't follow directions. And I was like, he did follow directions, and he does want to be a mouth that I can use. I did really want some head or some sex, and I guess it was like the offer's still on the table. We talked it out a bit, but at the same time, I think I was like, "Can I see a picture of you?" And he showed me a picture of himself. I hadn't seen how he looked at any of these years. I'm gonna admit, and I'm so if you see this, like, I don't think he's gonna find my YouTube channel. And if he does, don't get fucking mad at what you hear next. You're the one being nosy on my little semi-public, semi-personal journal vlog thing. I thought he was kind of fucking ugly. Like, how do I put this? I wasn't, or like, not hideous, just like, I don't know, like a 6 out of 10. Kind of like the type of person where it's like you would see them in public, and if your friend was like, ooh, let's set you up on a blind date, and it was with this guy, you'd be like, I could give it a shot. Like, you wouldn't be the most enthusiastic. You'd kind of be like, why the fuck did they sign me up to this guy? Type shit. Then again, like, he wasn't, it's like, I'll put it this way. I don't think the way he bleached his hair, I don't think it fits his color scheme, personally. I don't like it. But, like, he's not, I'm just saying my original thoughts, by the way. Just because I think someone's busted over photo doesn't mean that that's always what they do look like. Sometimes people just aren't photogenic. But from what I saw, it's like, okay, kind of stocky little dude, little bit chubby, thick ass nose ring, makes me think that, and platinum blonde shaved head. It's like Marshall Mathers met a gay fucking barista with fucking they them pronouns. Like, and I can make that joke because I'm non-binary. Simply put, I was like, this is not giving the energy of a sexy masculine man who would make a good husband and or fuck buddy. So I'm not feeling it. I wasn't gonna say all that though. I just said, oh, interesting, cool, nice hair. And he was like, thanks. I don't think I'm your type. And I was like, yeah, maybe not, but it's okay. And he was like, oh, well, can I see how you look like? I sent him my little folder of my best, like, photos and videos. He was like, hot fucking damn, you're stunning. Holy shit. Holy. And I was like, thank you. He was like, damn, you look unreal, actually. Like, what the fuck? That's my favorite thing to do with people, is to be extremely honest and open as a person and have them fall for my personality, and then I show them my looks later. I like that, to just be like, they already like what they see, and then they get to know how I look like. It's like, holy shit. I knew that on paper you were probably going to be attractive, but that attractive? Holy shit, you should model. It's a flattering feeling, and then I know that people usually are there for my personality, or at the very least, that it's like, any obsession they have is not entirely rooted in just my looks. Hopefully. But either way, he was happy as fuck. And we did get to talking some more, and he did ask me, out of curiosity, what's your type? And I said, honestly, like, which, wealthy fucking pale white twinks with fat asses, and slight mental instability. Like, from what I can tell, and really long legs. Yeah, that's my type. And then he was like, I don't think I'm your type then. I don't quite think I'm in alignment for what you want, but I couldn't stop talking to him. He was a fun energy, what can I say? And I was like, I don't think so either, but it doesn't mean you look bad or anything. Plus, I still think you're plenty cool, And we still kept talking. He was fine. He got rejected, like, very nicely 2 or 3 times. It's not like he was being pushy either. It just came back in conversation, because we both kind of were like, hey, will we, won't we? Until eventually one thing led to another, and he was like, I don't know, conversation came up. We were both free that day. We were already talking about hanging out or doing something. And I was like, yeah, I'm kind of bored. I don't know what I want to do today. And somehow the topic of, like, the movies came up, and I was like, oh yeah. And I guess I said something along the lines of, I've always had a fantasy of, like, meeting with a total stranger and having my titties sucked in the back of a movie theater. I haven't done that since I was a teenager, but it was a lot of fun. I was wishing I could do it again someday. Maybe someday. And then he was like, well, are you free today? Maybe today? Do you want to? And I thought on it. And honestly, the idea turned me the fuck on. Even if a person's not attractive, it still doesn't change. Like, sometimes if someone's unattractive, but they still pleasure me, it makes it even better. Because that's when you know you're good at what you do. And so I was like, you know what, fuck it. But I also was like, I was hesitant. I was like, I don't really have the money to, like, travel into the city right now. That nigga cashed at me $50 so fast. And then aside from that, he also gave me money to buy a specific necklace that I wanted too. So, and he was just like, hell yeah. Like, this, because mind you, this nigga's known me passively for like 2 fucking years. He knows the type of shit. He knows I like sparkly jewelry. He knows what type of shit I like in bed. Mostly. Like, he knows me. It's like, yeah, the beta to me is hard, sparkly jewelry, and promises of really good sex, especially oral sex, because she gets dickmatized too easily. We met up. He got me some really good like Korean chicken baos. We went to the back of a movie theater, watched a really good movie. He was great at sucking my titties. That shit was so good that I could not stop masturbating and being fairly horny for like 3 days straight, if not more. After that, I was sopping wet between my legs, and next thing you know, we were making out. We didn't even fully get to do too much buck wild stuff though, because mind you, it's like it's still a semi-public place, and I still have some fucking decorum, and also simply put, yeah, it's like I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not a teenager. There are like laws and shit. But it was still sexy exhibitionism to the mildest extent. No one got hurt, no one caught us. It was fun, it was sexy. Afterwards, he still was down to hang out and stuff. And next thing you know, we were at like a local mall, and I found a necklace that was really cute. It was like of high quality gemstones, and it was beautiful. And I was just like, hey, like he was really adamant. He was like, you want to try on the jewelry while we're here and see, like, do a little shopping and see what's out for us. And also, I forgot to mention, he also didn't tell me his job until we met, because I was fine meeting him regardless of his income. But this nigga dropped a bomb on me. He does like I forget. It's like video. It's like video. Yeah, you know how they have like Oculus Rifts and stuff, or like VR headsets. He does some sort of like engineering or design type shit for them, which is hot. And also, Jesus Christ, what's up with big dick white tech dudes and loving me? Wow. But I enjoyed myself. Oh, and then yeah, I tried on this really beautiful snowflake necklace, and it was wonderful. It was actually so gorgeous, and it was only like it was actually a pretty good price, like $100 or something. And they were having like a really good sale at Bloomingdale's. Mind you, I still had the money that Hay gave me in advance to buy another necklace, and I was like, damn, I don't know if I'm gonna get this necklace or the one I saw on Etsy, cause the one on Etsy, that one has bigger gemstones and it looks really extravagant, but this piece is just snatching my soul in person. Like, damn. And I was really impressed. And he just straight up was like, "You want me to get it for you?" And I blushed so hard, and he helped me put it on. And the lady at the counter was hyping us up. Also, I apologize if I already made a video about this. I'm just setting the scene because I guess there's more to it. I like to do that, set the scene so you know where I'm coming from emotionally. To speed it up a little bit, we checked out other parts of the mall. We tried on shoes and looked at cool clothes and stuff, and we got to really have a nice time. And then we went to this nice spot that I like for comedy. We had a little bit too much tequila sodas and Red Bull whiskeys and all sorts of drinks. Oh wait, no, I had the cookie dough whiskey. I forgot. That shit is terrible, but also kind of satisfying. I'm never ordering it again in my fucking life, but it was worth the shot. No pun intended. I think I had technically two double shots of it. I don't know how shots work, but it was a lot. Holy fuck. It got flirty and a little strange fast. But I had a great time. And me and my date, I don't know, we went out to get burgers, and he got me not just one, he got me two dinners, which in hindsight is fucking insane. It's like we finished eating, and he was like, "Is there anything else you'd want that I can get you that you want to take home with you?" And my drunk ass was like, And let's just say, to speed it up, because I'm still embarrassed, I'm like, wow, I was wasted. I can't believe I asked him to do that. I got a fucking second cheeseburger, fries, and a peach pie to take home with me and eat a la mode. That was wild. He got me two dinners like I was a fucking hobbit. That was nice. Yeah, he knows me very well. It's like, yeah, feed Tamia, give her sparkly jewelry, and eat her pussy very well, and fuck her very well, and she will be happy. And communicate. And yeah. And one thing led to another, and then to be extra sweet, even though he already gave me money to send myself home, he was like, "Oh, do you want me to just like add you to my like Uber ride home so that you get home safely and don't have to like spend your own money?" I said, "That would be so sweet." And one thing led to another, and then let's just say we started doing some Beyonce and Jay-Z and the partition video level shit, and it was the hottest thing I've had in ages. Just like our bodies basked in the fucking red light. Nothing too TMI though. Like you could just my body under the trench coat or the peacoat. Uber driver didn't see shit. Whole lot of titty sucking, whole lot of whispering in one's ear. One thing led to another. And also, if you're like, to me, that's a crime. Of course it is. Yeah, don't do that. We were just extremely wasted in trying our luck, whichever one, and it happened. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it so much. And it was so hot. And what was especially fun is how at some point he kind of was like fingering me a little bit, and he like lifts up from sucking my titty and he licks and sucks all over my neck and tongue kisses me. And he's like, "You want me really bad, don't you?" I say, "Yes." And then he's like, "How bad do you want me?" I said, "Very bad." And then that's when he said, "Good." The car stopped, and then in perfect cheery mood, as if I was on some sort of like fucking prank show, he just casually unlocks his seatbelt hella fast, leaves the car, and is like, "Bye, Tamia, see you later." And I'm blushing like hell, and I'm like, "Bye." And after that happened, like, the Uber ride home went fine. Me and the Uber driver actually made some pretty solid conversation too. Some laughs are shared. And then I went home. All's well and ends well. Now, how else did this story end, mind you? I'll put it this way. I made the decision sometime yesterday night, like 24 hours ago, to not see Hay further. At least not for sexual. And if you're like, why would you agree to such a thing? I thought you had such a great time. Didn't you say you had such a good time with him that you entirely forgot Mitchell's name? You entirely stopped crying over Mitchell and thinking that he was the love of your life the second you met Hay? Yes, that's true. Hay was great. He made my body so sexually stimulated in an obscenely hot, like, and here I was thinking the shit with Mitchell was good. Like, the shit with Mitchell was so good that anytime I go to shower and I turn on the shower jets and I lift up a leg, and turn it to the like the really sharp one, I can instantly make myself squirt, and then I will immediately flash back myself to having my legs pinned back consensually, and how Mitchell was tonguing all in my pee hole and all my clit and all that good shit. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm just like the shit with Mitchell was great. Trust me, he was a slut. I loved it. I love men sluts. I love nasty, slutty men. I don't like when they fuck with my emotions, but I love when they fuck with my holes, is what I'm saying. But Mitchell couldn't even get it up. And whatever. Like, how do I put this? Like, time passed. It's like, it's been months. Your girl has been endlessly fucking horny. And then, even then, there were moments where sometimes I didn't feel shit at all. Like, I lost like, sometimes I could have days where it's like endless porn, endless masturbation, endless high libido. Other days I feel nothing. I can masturbate for ages and nothing happens. And that's been happening more lately, where it's like I have no sensitivity in my clit. I have no blood flow to my pussy. My nipples feel like flat little fucking dead fish sometimes. Just no sort of stimuli. Ever. And it was getting to me. And then I met Hay. And Hay was surprising. I also forgot to mention he was a lot hotter in person. It was one of those things where as the night went on, he got hotter and hotter. Sure, you can probably say, "Hey, Tamia, weren't you drinking alcohol?" No, it was also the fact that he had a really nice personality, very nice, extremely beautiful, fucking gorgeous big brown eyes. Holy fuck, they're gorgeous. His eyes are like this, like a caramel espresso or something. God, they're gorgeous. And I like how he could not stop staring. Anytime, like, it was so cute how we met up. I was nervous he wasn't gonna like me because my hair was in afro puffs and I don't know. I was nervous. But that man could not take his eyes off of me. And that was making me blush so hard. And he just could not stop staring at me, making direct eye contact. He kept saying, "I love your mannerisms. I like the sounds you make. I like, not sexual sounds. I just make sounds a lot when I'm happy. Some of you might not know that because you just hear me rambling, but when I'm happy, I make noises. Cheery sounds like, mm. Ooh. Like, I was doing a lot of stuff like that, looking at jewelry or whatever, or just talking, and and he liked it a lot. He was blushing so much, and the way he could not stop, like, you would catch him during moments, he would just be staring into my eyes like hell along with the biggest smile on his face, and then he'd be like, "God, you're pretty. You're so fucking pretty," and just start blushing and laughing. It was really adorable. It was really nice. I liked it a lot. And it was sweet of him to go, "You know what? I like Tamia." And even though she already got $100 necklace, and we didn't even do too much in the movie theater, but we did definitely enough. Like, holy, like, you should have seen his reaction when he put a finger in and he saw how absolutely soaked to the thighs, drenched I was. He said it was the hottest thing he's fucking felt in ages. And it still turns him on to this day, and I know that. And how he loved my breasts and sucking my nipples made him so happy, and how it was all he could think about for days after we met up and all this, like, and we had a fun time, like, at the comedy show too. Like, I was just like, had my arm interlinked with his, I was admiring his tattoos, we were kissing on each other, touching each other's hair, being nice and flirty, socializing, and I don't know, I'm gonna say some things about him just to get out of my system. He has extreme, like, his lips, are they super full? No. I'm gonna admit he has actually some of the flattest lips I've, like, it's like his lips have like no meat in them. But they're also extremely pretty. Like, I still very much like the shape of his mouth. I love his smile. He has extremely cute, sweet teeth. I love it. His lips are kind of like two small little rose petals. They're so fucking cute. His nose, I like that his nose a lot. I don't know. Like, I didn't notice. I don't really. How do I put this? I'm gonna say it. I didn't know think his nose was big myself, but I don't know. My eyesight be tripping. But even then, I have a thing for men with like strong noses. I think that's fucking hot when a guy has a big nose. Something about that I really like. And his nose is really fucking big. I didn't notice until I saw certain pictures and angles. I like that shit. It's hot. Oh yes. And also, he has very strong eyebrows, and he has a nice sense of humor. I like his storytelling skills. I like talking to him. It was just a really pleasant time, is what I'm saying. The main reason I don't want to see him again, this is why. God, this next part is gonna hurt like a bitch, and I can already tell. I don't want to get hurt. And in the week since we have hooked up or so, or maybe it's been less than a week, I don't know, time flies. I forget when we met up, but we did, and I enjoyed myself. But what scares me is that, let's just say, I don't know, there's a bunch of games that men like to play. It's usually a thing with cis men. You have to have the perfect amount of like playfulness, chase. You have to show and give cues that you're interested but not too interested. You have to distance yourself to seem rare. You have to do this, you have to do that. I don't like to do those things because I don't believe in games. If I like someone, I'm gonna like someone even if we talk every fucking day. If I like someone, I'm gonna want to talk to them every day, if possible. Every fucking second of the day, we don't have to, but it'd be nice to get a response every like few hours, happily. And if we have time apart, we have time apart, but not too much time apart. That's not like, that's just how I am as a person. And some of my best relationships and bonds with people have been people where even if we don't talk 24/7, if I send them a goddamn message, like, usually they're going to respond in like less than 2 hours. Or sometimes less than 30 minutes because they'll just be like, oh shit, it's my favorite person, and they'll fucking respond to me. His responses had been getting slower as time went on, and it didn't quite seem like it was rooted in him being busy. It seemed like it truly, like, trust me, like the day after we met, he was so amped about being with me, and also sad because he couldn't go back to my place and I couldn't go back to his for a lot of reasons. He immediately started apartment searching because he wanted to get the fuck out from the place he has with his ex. He was like, I'm fully committed to like finding a new place so I can fuck Tamia in it. And but as time went on, he started getting distant, caring less, being more less emotional and more emotionless. Conversations were getting surface level. It wasn't fun anymore, and it just felt like tensions were building. And it just, how do I put this? Eventually, it just felt like begging. It didn't feel like I'm having a conversation with a friend. It felt like, oh, look, I'm like, this guy sees me as some sort of confusing love interest that he's not going to ever take seriously, but still wants to like play the role of a love interest. But at the same time, he doesn't. And it's like a confusing game. I've talked about it before. I don't like when people who are supposed to just be sluts try to make it into something it's not. And I don't like to fuck my friends. Or even if I do, it's like you can't really go back to being friends after that because there's a bunch of complexes. Like, for example, if you start fucking your friends consistently and making out and going on dates and stuff, then that's basically a relationship. But then the complication is, why isn't it a relationship? What don't they have, or what do you want that they don't have? Like, you know what I mean? And I find him to be very handsome. I do. I do. I was shocked by how handsome I found him. Like, when I first saw him in person, I was like, oh, wait a minute. This guy's actually kind of cute. He's not a 6. He's like a 7.5, actually. Like, damn, okay. I see you. Not bad. And then as the evening progressed and I saw his cool tattoos and felt he has very nice muscles on his legs and his arms. And I actually really do like his build. And he has a great jawline and a full beard. And let's just say he rose up very high in numbers. And I'm blushing even as I talk about him. I could tell that I was starting to like him. And, it stopped being just like, this is just some dude who I can be friends with, and if we hook up now and then, because he was fine with just like even after everything, paying for everything and all the fun we had, he was fine with it just being like, one day I can eat Tamia's pussy and suck her titties again, and then maybe after that I can fuck her after enough time passes. Of like he was fine with it just being solely for my pleasure, but even then, yeah, it's like I'll put it this way. I won't say the phrase he was everything I wanted, but we had heard me say on multiple social media platforms, damn, I really wish I just had a fuck buddy who was like a cool friend who I still inherently would not truly want anything more with. Like basically someone who's hot but not that hot, who's cool where you could hang out with them and talk, but you won't truly ever want to date them. Someone who has money so that then, they're the type of dude who could pay for lunch or take out, or I could enjoy like a nice dinner or something with every now and then, or even a cool event or something fancy every now and then. And like we could fuck each other's brains out and still like resume conversation. I wouldn't care about what else they do with anyone else or by themselves outside of me, because at the end of the day that's just a homie who sometimes fills a primal need and gives me material stuff. And then I got it, and then I got scared, and now I feel like a Mitchell. I feel like a Mitchell where it's like, oh look, my desires were granted to me. Do I even want them? But the thing is, I'll put it this way, Hay doesn't seem like he wants to date, and he probably shouldn't either, because he's just getting out of a very long on and off relationship that Lily is so fresh with how it ended, like less like a month basically. I already know he's not in a position to date, and I'm definitely not too. No offense, I can barely stop being a misandry. I don't know how to explain it, but I really, this is the tricky part. I'll say it like this. For over the course of this week, I had tried to talk to Hay. That didn't go so well. We tried to have conversations, but I noticed, like, how do I put this? It's easy to be like, I don't have feelings for this guy, until next thing you know, you're saving random photos of him from his Facebook profile from 2013 onto your phone gallery. And next thing you know, you're finding baby pictures of him on his mom's profile. And next thing you know, you're going through his ex girlfriend's Instagram just to see how many photos of him and how good he looked with his natural brown wavy, luscious hair that used to reach his shoulders, and how fucking shitty his blonde hair looks in comparison. But you know what? He did it to reclaim his body, so good for him. Also, he looked really good without a septum piercing, but he's reclaiming his body after a breakup. So, you know what? If it makes him happy, do it. You know what? It doesn't change the fact that he's a snack. It just means he's a different type of snack. Like, imagine if you enjoyed, I don't know, fucking strawberry shortcake and they decided to become lemon shortcake. You wouldn't improve, but it doesn't mean it's not tasty. It's just like, oh, I prefer the other, but okay. I really, I'm just feeling sort of weird. I don't know. I like, sorry, I also had a Red Bull, so bear with me. He was a cool fella. But I could tell over the week that we weren't talking as much. We weren't communicating. He was getting more cold. It wasn't just like a single hour without talking. It became, next thing you know, 4 or 5 hours without talking. It became me being anxious to be away from my phone, and if I picked up my phone and I didn't see the little Reddit notification at the top of my screen, I would instantly get sad and heart pain. It got to the point where any second where I wasn't masturbating to his photos felt fucking unbearable. That is too much for me. I could tell that it was all becoming too much for me, and I cannot handle that. It didn't help that his communication was ceasing too, and my immaturity was building up, and it was my emotional volatility could not handle it. So I just had to. What really hurt is that at some point I was like, you know what? Maybe I just need to do what I need to do. Like, I can sacrifice romantic needs for material needs. And you know what? If I can convince him, yeah, we could make it sexy. He wants to use me as a sex object and he no longer cares about me as a friend. If that's the case, I might as well embrace it and enjoy it, because fuck it, I've wanted dick anyway. I hated on Mitchell because I just wanted dick when I met him and he had to come into my life and fuck it up emotionally. And I didn't want that. I just wanted good sex. An orgasm. Someone to make me nut so that then I can go back to my daily life happy. And you know what? When I met Hay and we did our thing. The next morning I was so fucking full of glee that instead of laying on the floor in the fetal position for the first time in ages, I stood up and walked around my house and walked around my bedroom happy. I didn't feel a need to collapse onto the floor, sink to the floor. I actually had decent mental functionings. And that was I was happy. I finally felt happy. Like I was my fucking 13-year-old self again, or 10-year-old self again. Like nothing bad had ever happened to me. And that felt really good. But I know that desire is the root of all pain. And I was already starting to feel it. So simply put, at some point, like around yesterday night, I kind of thought to myself, I have a lot of yearning for this man, and it's getting unhealthy, and I don't even find him that attractive. Like, yes, he's attractive, but he's no, like, he's attractive in his old Facebook photos from like 5 years ago. Yeah, but now it's like, come on now. Like, he's no longer the hot brunette 25-year-old. He's now just some bleach blonde, bad built, butch body ass nigga who's like 30. Sorry, well, he's not. I didn't need to say that. He's not bad built. He has a nice body. He is bleach blonde though. He should. I don't like that hair color. I just don't think it's his color palette. I think he needs to go for an icier white. Like it's just a little bit too brassy and yellow in my opinion. But you know what? Fuck it. His hair's still soft and he's still sexy. He has really nice hair. He dyed his hair white and it was still so fucking soft. He has really great hair genetics. I'm very sexually attracted to men with nice hair. So he does fit my type, just in an unexpected way, let's say. Is he a 6 foot tall white guy? No. But is he a muscular, tatted up nigga? with nice hair and a fun disposition and personality and sweetness to him? Absolutely, yeah. But he was getting cold over the week, and I kind of thought to myself, okay, you know what? Let's just rip off the band-aid. If I'm going to be objectified, it's going to be on my own terms. And I want it to not just be, I'm some useless slut. I want it to be semi-special. I want it to be like, hey, let's go lingerie shopping for something really sexy. Like I could have on like a chemise or a camise. Or like a baby doll. Or like something really cute. And I could wear the nice necklace he got me. And he could get me a vibrator so that we could get as freaky as we want when we hook up. And that even if I miss him, I could just keep the vibrator by myself so that I don't have to rely on him only for my sake and sense of joy. Could I handle that? And I thought maybe I could. I messaged him. He was taking too long to respond, and even when I suggested the idea, he seemed into it, but not overly into it. Like, it seemed like his enthusiasm and overall gratitude and gratefulness of actually being able to get with me had died dramatically down. And I thought long and hard about it, and I was like, you know what? This is gonna hurt me. It's gonna fuck me up real bad if I get with this dude. And because what if I hook up with him and he doesn't text back fast? He cares even less. They say that when men have sex with women, they care less. Why? Because they already got what the fuck they wanted. Like, the chase was completed. There's nothing else to be excited for. The hunt is over. You're no longer some special novelty. Now he could meet some bitch who doesn't even have half of what you got. And he will cherish her like his life fucking depends on it. Why? Because his brain needs someone to hunt after. And you're making yourself too easy of a prey, so he no longer finds you interesting. And I also thought to myself, you know what? This nigga sucks. Actually, he's not even that cute, and I'm way too hot to be dealing with this. And it's like the idea of being able to fuck me and have your sexy little role play fucking kink shit with me should make you ecstatic, you know? You should be texting back fast. You shouldn't be making me wait on you. So you know what I did? I just messaged him back, and I was like, I can't do this. It's actually going to be terrible for my mental health. I remembered what happened with that guy Boomerang Dick towards the end of last year when me and him hooked up. And how that was just a blowjob. It was a blowjob, and I orgasmed for like 3 to 4 days straight after it. And I wasn't even the one being sexually stimulated. And then I lost my mind for 7 months, a quarter of a fucking year, or like 1/3 of a year, over a man and a blowjob. What makes you think that I'm going to be able to handle me trying to make myself my most presentable, lovable, suckable, fuckable for a man, and still being seen as disposable? Especially after Mitchell, do you think that would have been a good idea? Fuck no. So I told him, yeah, we can't do this. I can be friends, but even then we'd have to have very limited interactions, because this is not healthy for me. Also, I have your social media. I'll unblock you on Instagram, and I'll give you my social media so that in case you are ever feel like you need this about me, like if you're in any danger, here you go. It's Timidity. And he was like, how did you find my social media? You got it that fast? Which one is which social media? And I told him, And I was extremely blunt. I was like, I've done restraining order level behavior, and I'm doing this for your protection because I actually do like you and enjoy your friendship as a friend, but I can't do this. And then next thing you know, watch, that nigga started responding back in zero point 0.5 seconds each. Suddenly he knew how to text fast. Suddenly he didn't feel the need to leave me on red for hella long. Suddenly he was quick about it. That doesn't help me like men, by the way. It actually made me sick. It's like, oh, I see. You cared about me, but not enough. You knew I wasn't doing well. You didn't care. And just, yeah, now he only started responding back fast because he wanted sex again and it was off the table. He did tell me that he did appreciate that we did meet up, though, that it was the hottest experience he's had in years, and that with his ex, he didn't get to really try a bunch of stuff. They had a very vanilla sex life, and that it felt nice to have something genuine, not just a make out with a random strange girl at a bar, or missionary sex with, a dead relationship. It was actually like something that seemed genuine and fun, and that he really enjoyed it, and had seriously enjoyed it. But he also was sensitive. I was like, thank you so much. And well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. I did too. Don't worry. But he still got kind of paranoid. He was like, are you mad at me? Are you upset with me? And I was like, no, what do you mean? And he wouldn't let it go. And I said, dude, I'm literally at my ex's house right now watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I am calm. I just, I told you that I just want to take I just need a breather. I'm just enjoying this moment now that I actually have time to breathe and think straight. And now that the bar is back to you're just a friend and a guy who I can talk to every now and then. And then he was like, do you still want to be friends or do you want to cut it off permanently? And I said, I still want to be friends, And, he was a little concerned, but he was happy. And we talked about it. And then time went on and we didn't talk too much today, but, we did talk a little bit. And it seemed to have gone well. I think he still does I think there's something with him. I guess I'm noticing that he really likes, let's just say it seems like if I mention another man, he gets a little sensitive, or at least he conveniently stops talking. I'm noticing that. But I don't have too much to comment on it. Anyway, I just decided I don't want to be someone doing restraining order level shit again. I don't want to harm this man. I don't want to hurt him with my body fluids, or my fists, or my feet, or my legs, or my body, or my heart, or my soul, or my words. I want him to just stay in the position that is the best, to be a friend. And if he can't handle that, then okay. And mostly today we did not talk, and I was a little glum, and I thought to myself, maybe we aren't friends if it has to be this way. But things went good so far. Like, I got to talk to him about this other guy I almost hooked up with today, and we laughed about how pathetic that guy was. And he went out tonight for karaoke and a show. Maybe I'll hear back from him on how it was. Maybe I won't, but regardless, I just don't have time for anything fake. And I just kind of decided for myself, you know what, I could stay tripping over this dude and then hook up with him and then have another fucking 3 to 4 months or more wasted crying over a man. Or I could just not fuck him, because why would I want a dude who's acting like I'm fucking Clearance Bloomingdale's jewelry when I'm motherfucking extremely rare exotic shit, Like, no, or, like, yeah, you get what I mean. I'm not some fucking cheap Cheyenne jewelry that'll give you lead cancer, nigga. I'm fucking exquisite Christian Dior, undiscovered since the fucking 60s, made with 14 karat gold and exotic pearl. Like, let's get it together. And I only want to be around people who truly value me and can be consistent about it and will not take it for granted. He was about to take it for granted. I rescinded his rights. He got upset. Not my issue. He should have known better. And yeah, and I'm starting to forget about how his tongue felt on my body, and someone else can be deserving of it. And it does kind of suck when niggas mess up, because I have for the last few days. My titties have been swollen to shit. My pussy has been wet to the point where it's like dripping damn near to my knees, like fucking huge amounts of like, it's crazy, dude. And my titties are so soft and luscious and full. It's like, wow. And you niggas want to act wrong? You want to act like I'm not shit, you ungrateful slags? I'm not a fan of that shit. So simply put, yeah, I'm going where I'm valued. And if none of these, like, it just seems like the streets are full of niggas who won't value me. Because trust me, another nigga tonight, he was trying to impress me. I was like, okay, how about this? I want a nice, like, really nice, like, extravagant, sparkly necklace. I want you to get me something that look really nice shining on my titties. Something fabulous. Can you get me that? And, like, something very glam. And then this other guy I was talking to, he was like, I got you, I'll get you something nice. I even sent him the address to a store that was extremely affordable that he could have went to. You want to know what this man got me? He pulled out some ugly ass fucking Goodwill section or like Michael's fucking storefront. Fuck, it was so terrible. It was terrible. I was so offended by what he got me that I just canceled my. Actually, I didn't even cancel the plans. I just fully vanished on that nigga. I was like, fuck this shit. And then I talked to Hay about it, and me and Hay were just laughing, like, yeah, that guy's a fucking idiot. He dropped the ball hella hard. So we seem to be getting back to normal in terms of a normal friendship, and that's why I prioritize. I'd rather have someone be my friend that I can talk to whenever I want without any issues of like them fearing I want romance or me actually wanting romance or them wanting romance or any of the confusions. I just want it to be like, hey buddy, how you doing? Good, I made out with a girl at the bar. You? Oh, I went to a strip club with a guy. You know, like I want it to be like fun. No stress. Sex brings stress. And instead of stress, I was like, you know what? I want to just, like, I could be stressing over nigga for half a year, or I could just really invest and throw myself into all my goals and passions and more. All that. You know, I want to make sure I'm happy. And also, I don't want to have sex with a dude just for the sake of like lingerie and a vibrator. I want to have sex with the dude who's going to be like, hey, Timmy, I heard you want belly dance classes. Here you go. Got them for you. Heard you want this. Heard you want that. Like, I want, and Mitch, I mean, and Hey was that at first, but it's like, I want that consistently. Let's just say it's like, I'm not trying to trip off of dudes who are like 7.5s who make pretty solid, decent money, but aren't obscenely rich to the extent that I would like, or aren't that generous, you know? There's a certain bar that I want met in terms of everything. I have standards, and he needs to reach them. He almost did, but he dropped the ball. So I need someone who's more on my wavelength and level. And until I find that, I'm just gonna have to get used to a whole lot of lesbian porn in my fucking left hand and right hand, and that's okay. I can just keep tag teaming myself with both hands, having a blast, and I'll forget all about him. And I'll live my life. And we could just text as homies every once in a blue moon, just as we did before. And instead of seeing me suffer and cry about men or trauma, hopefully he'll see me be like, I did belly dancing. I had a nice date. I wrote this script. I enjoyed my life. And he gets to be happy just seeing me flourish. And he seems respectful so far, and also so far so good. Alright, bye.